I'm Wes Forsyth, and between science and ignorance, there is filler. And then somewhere else in there, there's this thing called GhostTalk. And so you gotta like dig, and then you gotta look, and then.
Hello, people of the internet! Welcome to Ghost Talk, the most active paranormal show on YouTube. Happy Halloween. Ooh, happy freaking Halloween.
Spooky.
Spooky. It's a spooky Halloween today, guys, because we've got another video out. If you haven't already known, it's kind of a big deal, floating through the internet, kind of went viral at 100 views. Whew, wishful thinking. All right, guys, speaking of wishful thinking, we got a wonderful topic today, and all those links, we've actually kind of molded 3 huge topics into one because they're all pretty much the same concept. Ghosts are not real, says practical science.
Practical science.
Practical science. That's
like practical silence, like science.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, I love that. Practical science, is that like vinegar and baking soda? Making a volcano?
Volcano?
Yeah. That's practical, right?
That's like legit, man.
Sorry, I had to throw that in there and cut you off.
Oh, those things loaded, pal? Come on. Jeez. Well, guys, practical science. Basically, you know what? We know what we can know with science. Ghosts aren't real. These are what scientists say, and this is kind of on repeat of what scientists or, folks with the paper and, the job, the push-up glasses. Actually, I do that quite a bit.
You actually have glasses on.
I'm
man. So sorry.
It's legit. I'm offended. I am offended, sir.
I'm triggered.
Oh dear.
Please.
Anywho, guys. Yeah, science says ghosts aren't real. So we have to agree, I think. Right, Nick?
Yep.
Yeah.
We agree.
Ghosts
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, guys. It's the end of Ghost Talk. We're
next the Ghost Crier.
Next week is science.
Mark it 2008 to 2016. That's all over. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. I think we're going to come back strong.
I'm going to go home.
Oh, dear. And
yeah.
No, we'll be back next week with a new show called Crying About Ghosts.
Yeah, crying about what used to be.
Whole new team concept.
Yeah.
I'm no stranger to folks really not believing ghosts. And I get science's perspective. I absolutely do. Sadly, they don't get, my perspective or your perspective, at least in a wide range. When I say him or I really mean us. Us as enthusiasts or paranormal investigators. About 38% of United States citizens believe spirits, ghosts, the paranormal exists. About equal that amount swears they've had an experience. They swear it's a ghost. So that's a larger percentage of folks not really engaged in the paranormal. That actually that kind of surprised me because of how popular it is right now in pop culture with all the TV shows and Halloween in general. Our UK friends, hey everyone over there in
Saudi,
UK. So you folks, there's a higher percentage there that do believe in spirits. Actually, not too much higher than the United States, which surprised me. So with that in mind, before we kind of get into a few facts, and mind you, I pulled some big pieces from each of the articles. There's 3 articles posted below. Check them out. They're actually really good reads. And they are a bit biased on the scientific side. And I know that sounds weird, but clearly these guys or these girls, these writers, are not engaged in the culture or really wanting to believe outside of their box.
It's almost like they're like mad about it.
Well, a lot of people are pissed off that people are going out there calling themselves scientists or calling them or saying that we're, using scientific tools and scientific procedures to do a scientific job, and we believe we're on the cutting edge of science. But then scientists are looking back going, nope.
I can see that. So, your anger is understandable.
Right. And and they're not necessarily wrong, and I'll kind of get to my thoughts on that in a moment. But yeah, Nick, what before we kind of jump into some subjects here, tell me, do you believe in ghosts? Are ghosts fake?
Maybe.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Not everything is haunted.
Okay, fair enough. So, if I snap a picture, maybe in a cemetery, after the wind blows a little bit, it's dark, the light hits a bunch of orbs, right? I just found a whole...
Tugging at my heartstrings with the orbs. I love orbs.
Orb, you glad? Oh.
No, I'm not a fan of orbs. If there's one thing that I troll people the most on the internet, on Facebook, on Twitter, it's people posting pictures of orbs, taking pictures of themselves like facing a mirror, and it's a completely dark room, and they post stuff like, "Did you see that in the mirror?" No, there's nothing in the mirror. There's not an orb. It's dust. Maybe Ghost Adventures where the orbs go woo and do a loop and like write Aaron's name in cursive in the air.
That's cool. That could happen.
That I might. All right, that's something. But if you're posting pictures of orbs and stuff saying that it's paranormal, I'm with the article as far as that much goes.
Well,
it's all fake. Stop it.
They were specific with orbs, but you bring up a good point because
orbs really.
they're the toughest piece to bring to a group, to bring to anyone, a skeptic, to say, no, ghosts exist. Here's my ghost. Picture, orb. Ding.
I named him Timmy.
So, Timmy may or may not exist, guys. Orbs might be a thing. I do think there is a form of energy. I do believe that orbs can be a manifestation, a travel form. But I do not believe, logically, anyone can say full-fledged, well, that's an orb, unless they write my name in cursive on video with a distinct flight path.
On Ghost Adventures, on Friday.
At 7 p.m.
And
Eastern
it was on
Standard
DVR.
Time.
Donald Trump. You gotta see it to believe it. Orbs started out...
Oh, no.
Orbs started out in the...
1900s, no.
Probably the late 70s through the 90s. I've heard actually a seminar on this.
Ooh.
It started out at a time when cameras were just, you held up a camera and you pressed the button and it took a picture. And you actually had to develop the photos. You actually had to develop the photos, and what was developed is what you took a picture of. Nowadays, people go out and they just buy a camera off the shelf at Walmart, and they go to a location that's haunted or a cemetery, and they just hold the camera up and take a picture. Except nowadays, the cameras are all anti-shake, face detection, low light settings.
So many computer chips in there that are telling what to see. Yeah.
Exactly. So, that picture that you're taking in 2016 is being filtered and compressed and decompressed and stretched and altered in so many ways that it's just, you're picking up microscopic specks of everything.
Well, it's not anything like this next example that I'm going to give you, but it's picture related, so I thought, hey, why not? Back in the early 1900s, everyone, there was a great scam going on with psychics. Go fig, right? Chloe, I'm talking to you. So these psychics would do like a psychic photograph in a sense. So when you had to wait for a picture to be developed or even took back in the early 1900s, you had to wait a few minutes. I think around 10 minutes or so, you had to sit there. So you can't move, because if you move, it distorts the image a little bit. So someone would go with a sheet, a literal sheet, behind them and stand in about the 5-minute zone for about a minute, 2, and then leave. Well, now that gives a signature imprint to that photographer, so when they're like, let's see what's, I'm sure they shook it too. So when they show that, they're like, hey, look, your loved one said hi.
Yeah.
And they were just rolling into dough with these scams. And this is sad because this probably is contributing to scientists thinking, all right, there's a lot of scammers out there. So all this stuff is crap. It's not real. It doesn't go by conventional science and what we know. I mean, not to say all psychics are scammers, but there was a period. We all know ectoplasm, right? Probably closer to Ghostbusters.
Or vaping.
Or vaping. Oh, well, there's a thing back in the, again, the early 1900s, where ectoplasm was a form of a spirit as well, and they would catch that in a lot of, photographs as well. But really, it was within seances. So when the psychic would do the seance, they actually took a pill, and I'm not sure what exact pill it was, but the pill actually had what they call ectoplasma come out of, their ears or mouth. And they would say that's a spirit coming through. It was a huge thing. It's like, oh, here's your loved one, type thing.
I'm surprised you didn't do that with that Carolina Reaper pepper.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's coming out of my ear.
If you guys haven't seen that video, link below, I guess.
Yeah. Perfect.
It was terrible. But the funny thing with these specific pills and this type of scam was they could not control the orifice of where it said ooze would come out of.
Man, I wish time travel was real, because we'd be going straight back and making a boatload of money. Yeah, I just crap my pants. Again, I'm sorry, guys. Just actually going to these old new houses according to that time, because we time traveled, and just crapping your pants and peeing your pants. Yep, your mom's here. I just peed my pants.
But it was like an oozy thing. I think it had like some density to it. So like come out of people's eyes too. Like you really had no control. Like anything that if you had maybe an open wound, I know. I think that's going too far. But
yeah. Yeah.
What's happening? Oh God.
I'm bleeding. No, that's ectoplasma. It's not blood. It's just the lighting in this room.
Look, your grandfather's here with us. I'm a little embarrassed to show you where he's at. Trust me. Or
seems Grandpa had some secrets.
Oh dear. Okay, let's get to the topic, guys. Okay, so thank you, scientists. Yeah, not real. 3 reasons people see ghosts. They kind of chop these, down to 3 big categories of why people see ghosts, Nick. And they're good categories, and I've touched bases with this many times of, examples of people, seeing ghosts this way. Because I told you so. Got a picture. There's my orb, Timmy. Huh? Oh, I see it. I see Timmy. Awesome. And that, unfortunately, doesn't work with me. And maybe because I've got into this game for different reasons. I mean, there was no big TV companies looking for people at the time that I started doing this. So I had a different mentality. Not to say that you didn't or that Nick didn't. Nick's been in the game for a long time as well. But when I jumped in, I really wanted to know the truth. So I couldn't buy the I told you so game. And this is personally for me. And of course, this is, a broad statement that this article is making. So I had someone approach me. I was working at a restaurant. It was a nice restaurant, Italian place. Great food, great clam chowder. So the lady was telling all the other waiters and waitresses, hey, you want to see my ghost? You want to see my ghost? You want to see my ghost? And of course got around to me and goes, hey, Aaron hunts ghosts. hey guys, let me see your ghost. So she showed it to me, and I was the first one to break her heart. I looked at it, and I looked at it for a long time. I had a little bit of a grin on my face. I'm like, crap, she's really proud of this ghost.
Hate to do this.
But
Did you get your Trump fingers out? Look, you don't have a ghost.
yeah, and maybe there was something more at the house. So I got permission to investigate the property. So I went to her house, found out through research there was a murder that happened on the house next to her. Awesome. Probably should have did that house. Probably would have had more activity. But the house that she was at and she went to, she showed me where she took the picture. I duplicated it like that. Camera, light reflection off an indention in the wall. Gave to the lovely word that I now use. Always used it, but pareidolia. It looks like a face. It can look like a face. So
Pareidolia.
yeah, pareidolia. Good old parapsychology lets us know that we cray because we see things.
For you folks with tattoos of cows chewing on grass, matrixing.
Ooh, wow. So that I told you so never worked. But I do have to say, gotta keep energized. The tactic has been used by me. Actually, it has been. Years ago, I've did an event, and I kind of had to move the scenario along. So I let someone listen to an EVP, and I shared what I heard. Because ultimately the vet needed to move on, and they, of course, heard what I heard. Is that a good tactic? Yeah, it is if you're trying to move along. Is it the best tactic to present to a client or anything like that? No, it's not. But it's there and it's functional because people believe you. Was I confident that I heard what I heard? Absolutely. Could I have been wrong?
Yeah.
Could have been. But there was something there. And I come from the front. I know they exist. And I mean, I could get to that on a whole nother talk episode of my reasonings there. And so I know there's afterlife energy. I've already came to that discovery phase. I went through my denial phase. The whole fixins kind of going up to is this a real functional thing? So yeah, I do believe in life after. So now it's just to the point of here's evidence. Here's what I got. Is it what we think it is or not? Might be. At the end of the day, there's life after. So, I mean, I'm not too concerned with so much of evidence anymore. I do get excited still, of course, with evidence, but I'm not out here to prove to anyone else. I'm really out there to show, to entertain, to help. I mean, if you guys really do want my wisdom, if that's a thing,
Yeah.
then hey, I'm here. I really do want to help if you guys need it. But again, I'm not here to convince. So yes, the because I told you so I see. I mean that's a thing. I admit that.
The power of persuasion is huge.
Yeah, absolutely. So huge, especially in this genre. Because it's so easy to jump to someone that's kind of on the edge and be like, oh, you don't believe in ghosts? Well, here's this picture. Oh, here's a video. And it's like, oh, well, everything's focused completely around ghosts. Yeah, it has to be real. Mind you, on that, everything that I do release is completely legit. Everything I will release in the future. And of course, what you probably have already seen before this video, or maybe after this video, completely legit and awesome. But yeah, people probably do jump to that whole, you told me so, da-da-da-da-da. Have you ever ran into anything like that? Or have you ever presented someone to someone? This is what it says, just to kind of move the dialogue along?
I've done that with you over EVPs.
And and I think maybe that's where the comfort level goes with you and I.
But, we can sit and we banter back and forth.
Right.
I don't think I hear that, Nick. All right. I was at a Paracon in Des Moines, Iowa one time at the Farrar School. Oh my God, you were just there.
That's awesome. Hi, Elizabeth.
Johnny Hauser from the Villisca Axe Murder House was out there. He was giving a seminar just on, I think it was actually Hauser's ramblings, and he was talking about he was doing a show one time. I think it was his show, The Dead Truth. Yeah, The Dead Truth. And they took a group of people to a haunted location. It really wasn't. Okay. And they gave them this awesome story about all the hauntings and the stuff that went on. And during their tour of the building, I believe Johnny said that he started, saying stuff like, "Ooh, did you hear that? Did you hear that? I just heard a whisper." And like people in the group of, "Oh my God, yeah, I heard that." I mean, the power of persuasion. I mean, you could get anybody to believe anything. Just like what I said right there.
And it goes to the whole saleswoman tactic. You know, if you
snake oil elixir.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people can get duped this way or see things this way. But there can be also those genuine, because it's my example. I was very enthused, and a lot of it is with Nick and I, sharing evidence. But a lot of people are very genuine with what they find. So when they say, "Oh, did you hear it said, Martha?" I mean, that's what they heard, and they just want to share, their story, because it's something personal to them, and they want to justify that personal experience, I think, a little bit more. A lot of us do. I do in times as well. Again, of course, I take a little bit different eye to this than other investigators that I've ran into and approached. Of course, Nick and I have a very complementary, I think, dual set of skills that when we go on site to really check each other and to make sure that the area, is
he does all the talking and I kick the door in.
Crushes things.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing. So that's science, world. I see where because it doesn't work the same in their universe. You have to have a controlled environment. You have to have an agent in that controlled environment and be able to duplicate the work. So if I take a pen, drop it, pick it up, drop it again, it should do the same thing. Fall down. Gravity's doing its job. So they get nervous when there's a realm out there that is pseudoscience, sounds like it's made up out of fairy tales. They don't want to touch it, so they have to pull back to logic. They have to pull back to their grounded understanding of how the real world functions, which, in essence, I think takes away a lot of what intellect they could potentially have if they do challenge themselves to go outside of that box and realize that there's something that hasn't been discovered, as we're finding in outer space and underwater almost daily with little discoveries here and there. So yeah, it's all about, the first one to find the fire. Electromagnetic fields and spooky sounds. Kind of goes a little bit what you said, with the sounds. We had the tour guide was just, "Hey, did you hear that?" Also with EMFs, not EMFs, EVPs, electro voice phenomena. Phenomena. Ring.
Phenomena.
So, moving on. So, the spooky sounds, when you're taking a recording, a low frequency recording, you're getting these sounds that are going through a frequency that we can't hear, that are maybe picking up radio frequencies that are around the block, around the area. You could get burps of sound, scratches, slashes, and with the electronic interference, it can kind of manipulate that to sound something, again, pareidolia, something familiar to what we're used to. So if we've asked a question, yes/no question, and we hear a yes, or we hear something that sounds like a yes, we're going to maybe jump to that. Is that right or wrong? In the scientific way, it's absolutely wrong because, it can't be repeated. What did we really hear? We can't corner whatever we potentially heard to question it. It's just out of the realm of even understanding with that type of individual. Not putting the blame game on him or even saying that really we're right. We could be far from right. this could be the most wrong show ever. Everyone watching this,
Thumbs down.
all 38% of the United States citizens that believe in ghosts, we're all wrong. But the kicker is, the big fun fact kicker is, for me, I don't care if I'm wrong, because at the end of the day, say if I walk out of this room right now, get hit by a truck, I'll be dead. If I was wrong, I won't worry about it. I would literally not worry about it because
I'll be dead.
I'm gone. I jumped into this field because I didn't believe. I never had any huge paranormal ghostly experience. Oh, I need to explain that huge monster in my bedroom. No, I had no experience. I had an overactive imagination. I disregard all of that. But with a paranormal experience, no, I didn't. And I wanted to know the truth. So I came at this in the late 90s with an interesting eye. I wanted to know if there's life after death. That was a simple kind of truth. I would ask groups. Some of them would say yes, some would say no. No one really had any good reasons. So I dove into it. I didn't care if I found it or if I didn't find it. It wasn't something,
You wanted answers.
I wanted answers, the real answers. And after, really diving in and checking myself on numerous occasions, I found the answer, the personal experience that I was looking for. The funny thing was my personal experience was experienced by two others. Parapsychology calls that mass hallucination. Oh, they got me again. However, I did research after the fact whose lore and stories back up said location that I and two others had an experience with, which was not my intent, not the reason I was going there. It was just a natural walk around. I didn't know any of the history. All kind of added up, and I saw see it until you believe it type thing, or believe when you see it. So, yeah, definitely something there, and it's just it's funny. I got something on electromagnetic fields, but I'll let Nick say something.
Something.
So, electromagnetic fields. It's a EMF.
Everything is escaped just on saying something.
EMF, electromagnetic fields. Their typical behavior is to emit from man-made sockets. It's radiation. It radiates. It emits slowly. Radiation. It can build. It can lower. It's poisonous. Radiation is poison. Have no doubts in your mind. We're running around with detectors that are detecting small doses of poison. I've ran into a house. I did an investigation on a home one time, and I was running, the detector, and I found a huge reed, far larger than should be, especially in the basement area of this house, on a fish tank, which actually explained why all the fish were dying all the time. Wasn't a demon.
They weren't dying. They were just practicing the back float for the Olympics.
So with that, with the electromagnetic fields, in a sense, the phenomenon with them is that they're free floating. They're not supposed to be free floating through practical science. Mm-hmm. So what is? Are we just calling that a burst? I mean, what is that free floating phenomena? Can it talk to us? Can we capture a spirit box or EVP reading? Can it react with us? Can we get an orb if we slap a picture?
Yeah.
Spells out our name?
Yeah, orbs.
It's Timmy. So, Timmy, that's... So the electromagnetic fields, a lot of science pulls back to we don't know if these actually work.
Right.
But the thing is, they don't believe that ghosts exist. So now with that context, how can they say that the tools that are being used are completely not, worth anything due to the fact that they have a zero belief system in the afterlife because it doesn't go with natural, normal science. Electromagnetic fields.
Do like solar frequencies blast the earth in like huge waves that would make your EMF detector be sitting in your hand, hasn't shown anything for over an hour, all of a sudden it jumps up to, like a 5.0 or something like that. I mean,
Right.
is that from the sun? It's probably night when you're doing this. Is that from the moon?
Well, ricochet right off that moon, perhaps, that bad
Yeah.
boy. A lot of people did get EMF early on. Geomagnetic energy was
Right.
was a big concern, especially for outside investigations, and that would interrupt a lot of the systems. And when the early ghost hunters, if you watch the early ghost hunter seasons, and even before the TV shows were on, typical ghost hunters, when we wanted to actually do a good investigation on a home, we would knock out the complete power because we didn't want those emitting chords. Nowadays, it's more for the fun and the thrill, and that's not a bad thing. But I think people take it. There's a few concerns. People take it not as serious because they can recognize where an EMF should be. So if we are getting a big spike of that continuous circuit, then maybe they need to do something with their wiring, so it could be helpful. Also, a lot of people, if you go to private homes, clients don't want their stuff turned off. They have to reset their
Yeah.
Their
That's why
VCRs.
I try not to do those anymore.
Yeah, I don't either. I kind of skip out on those too. Early on, I was all pro, but it got too hard, especially with
Yeah.
clients. And even going into a lot of these old structures, which are actually a lot more open for you to doing if you actually pay them money and do the
Pay
investigation.
or just ask. I mean,
just ask,
the last
yeah.
one, we just asked.
Oh, yeah, totally. The link's down below, guys. You've got to check out the investigation that we dropped today. Happy Halloween again. It was a phenomenal experience.
Trick or treat.
I've never, in all my 17 years of doing this, I've never had such an instant response. I've never had such an instant scenario that they just gravitated. No hunters, as far as I know, I mean, I believe that's what the owner stated. There's no hunters that's ever really been down in that tunnel part. They've been in the basement, but they really haven't functioned too heavy in that tunnel. Might be wrong there, but if there was, it might have been one other group or something. There hasn't been many.
I think she said it was just her and like a couple of the patrons of the business.
Okay,
went
so
down
it wasn't any.
Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't anything on the level that Nick, I, and Travis did. And these, this community, this invisible community, as I'm calling
that
it.
nobody knew about. We just rolled the dice, and I texted Aaron one day and was like, "Call this place up."
And they had no clue who we were, what we were doing, and how we were doing it. They were about as scared and surprised as we are finding them. So it's one of those moments where it's like, science, come on, are we having a weird? It's just those. I don't know. It's strange. It's strange. So electromagnetic fields.
Electromagnetic fields. Pretty awesome.
Tell us about toxic hallucinations, because that's a third concern.
Toxic hallucinations
hallucinations.
brought on by gases or fungal.
Yeah, there's a new study.
What was the word they used? Fungus, black mold.
Yeah, basically black mold. So do you believe that's a thing?
I believe you can get sick from it. Every time I've been to Edinburgh Manor, which the entire basement is black mold, I've gotten very, very, very sick. We're talking 3 weeks to get over some kind of chest infection. And the last time I was there, I've only been there twice, and the last time I was there, I actually had a mask on the whole time, still got sick. Maybe that's why that place is so haunted.
Ooh, hey, good point. You know, because there are natural toxins that can make hallucinations happen, and we'll go back a little bit to the EMF detection with that being radiation. A large dose of that can mess with your brain pretty good too, and you might start seeing.
Elvis.
Yeah, you might start seeing the king.
Hey, sugar mama.
Walk towards the king. That's my motto. So, yes, again, science. Yeah, absolutely right. Hallucinations can describe what some people see. Again, I mean, I'm not one.
Bounce back to Edinburgh Manor. I mean, the claims are stronger in the basement. It's all black mold in the basement. people claim to get touched, shoved. There's stuff that flies across the room.
There you go.
The further you go up in the building, things start to calm down. I mean, I have gotten a lot of EVPs from there.
Okay.
Great EVPs. As far as being shoved or hearing things go flying across the room, I haven't had. But there is great questionable EVPs that have come out of there.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, big caution for everyone watching this and doing active investigations. You know, wear masks. Be safe. Be aware. Check yourself if you do see something. Don't jump to conclusions, because that's really what the larger part of society, I think, wants us to do, to keep this a fairy tale.
And I think it was 1 or 2 years ago, an investigator actually died from inhaling some kind of particulate.
I think I remember reading that.
Yeah, it was a female. It was a husband and wife team, and then she actually passed away. She got a really bad infection in her lung from being in some attic somewhere. And so do wear your respirators. You'll see him and Travis in the Halloween video wearing respirators, and then some big goof not wearing a respirator at all.
Come on, Black Mold, come on!
Because it didn't fit my face, and every time I talked, it just went right over my eyes.
Guess who saw everything? Yeah, coincidence.
That's what I saw, dude.
It's like, it's right over there, man. Do you see it?
Yeah,
hey, see it,
like,
man.
hey, Scoob.
Check this out.
Yeah.
You know, the idea that the dead, you know, remain with us with a spiritual energy, or spiritual energy.
Bigly.
It's a lot of people want that. A lot of people want the comfort that there's going to be some immortality, because they don't want to know that, and we don't want to know that. We're mortal. We're just going to do our 9 to 5, pop out some kids, say good luck to you, see you in the afterlife. Go after and be like, oh, nothing here. Sorry, Junior. Except you won't be saying that, because nothing will be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people do believe that the afterlife exists, you know, that believe in the paranormal, ghosts, and that's another issue with, I guess, science coming back at us, where you guys are just, and I'm going to use the word faith, you know, faith. I think in some aspect there is some faith, and you have to have faith in this, but the level that I feel Nick and I are pursuing are much more beyond faith. We're getting hard evidence. We're witnessing things that science can't explain. TV shows not providing the existence of ghosts, and this is something else that they're saying, or they're not proving anything. I mean, they're just there giving the EVPs their personal reactions. It's entertainment. That's another thing science kind of pulls back on. So they're not doing anything scientifically for the genre. Again, a lot of scientists are upset at folks like us because we feel we're on the cutting edge of science with virtually no proof, no sustainable proof with this. There's a scientist out there, and I know I said this on a previous show. He was very good with electricity, so he was known for electric. He was known for energy, right? He was a little known guy. Oh, what's his name?
Tesla.
Well, Tesla's one, but I was thinking of Thomas Edison.
Oh.
Thomas A. Edison. The guy, again, created the modern light bulb. He was very good at, energy and understanding that. He was a scientist by all definition. And he knew there was some substance to the afterlife. He swore he had conversations with folks who passed. He had the game plan of how to make the machine to talk to the dead. Unfortunately, he had kept it on his head, and when he passed, I think in the late 20s, in the early 20s, he was featured in a magazine, Science magazine, said he knew the device. Years later, he died. Device never made. What it could be, I don't know. But the kicker was he was a scientist and he believed there was some substance to this. Why other scientists haven't jumped on this concept, and if they are they kind of in the closet until they figure out something to bring to their peers? I don't know.
Because they're too busy making four-legged robots that they try to see if they can push over.
Well,
Stop it. Watch Terminator 2. Stop it. Pursue other things. You do not want to build Skynet. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Sorry.
That's Skynet.
Those robots are the scariest thing you'll ever see.
So sad when his little red eye goes out at the end.
And he's going in the lava in the first one.
No, that's the second one.
The second one, and he gets a thumbs up.
They're on their 8th one now. They're trying.
Yeah, they're like,
it's like
Paranormal Activity 57, Terminator 2,
Land Before Time
188.
150.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I think science needs to really step up their game. That's kind of the bottom line, at least for me. Yeah, it's difficult. It's not going to be easy. You're not going to be able to explain everything to your peers, unfortunately, with this type of science. I don't believe it's pseudo. I don't believe it's mythology. What I've seen really says that there's something beyond. And even if we look at our own, and there was a rebuttal in here in one of the articles with Albert Einstein, said that energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transferred, and that's something that I've hung on quite a bit. I know other investigators say that a lot when speaking about life after. While this writer advised that we do know where that energy goes. That energy goes back into the ground, where animals eat it and so forth and da 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 da. That is so false. Like, that is just the perception of how the body decays and how the vitamins and everything within ourselves supports the rest of the universe and the world after we pass with our specific energy, our bodily energy. And that's really what their defense is. The bodily energy they can't say exists, so they go to these other assumptions. Of course, we ultimately can't say that, I guess, it exists. But I do know if you look really close into a brain, you're going to see a spark. You're going to see a lot of sparks, a lot of activity there. I truly do believe that's where the energy, of course, is housed. And the vessel with the organs and the muscles, it's being controlled by the brain, by that energy. And so the rest of the body really doesn't display necessarily that energy, but you all know how perception works. Perception really is reality. So when we pass and we're keeping the brain focused energy, our perception is going to be reality at that point. If we know what we look like, we're going to probably manifest or, see ourselves the way that we saw, because that's all that we know. Maybe in time we can look more demonic or whatever the case may be, because we might forget. We might be like, I think I look like this. That's
how I picture myself. I cannot wait
shadow
to
person.
come back as
That's what I'm going to try for.
I'm going to come back as like a broom.
And
a ghost broom.
you have to focus real hard. I think you can do it. You got to believe you're a broom
People
now.
be calling up paranormal investigators of the time. There's a
broom.
Spooky broom.
Just wrecking havoc.
I think I might be crazy, but please hurry.
I think he's cleaning. So, I believe that consciousness, because it is your perception, again, does hang with you. And so that energy, gets transferred. Again, I think we need to look in space for a lot of how the energy works. And what I want to ask a lot of these scientists that focus on the destruction aspect, when we pass away, where does energy go? It goes in ground, blah, 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 blah. Science. Well, how is energy originally formed? How is that energy formed? Because science, as I'm aware, has all the tools, has all the body parts. They can get them. They can zombify and they can Frankenstein, people up theoretically, but they can never make anyone move because they're missing a little bit of that spark that I believe is initiated upon conception. If we look at it that way, the spark hits sperm hits the egg, the spark flies, and then starts kind of jump-starting the brain or what it could potentially be.
There's
and
a
then
lot of
cycles
friction
through.
there.
A lot of friction. A lot of friction.
Went there.
Oh, man. Happy Halloween.
Yeah.
So, yep, just a little thing. Maybe I'll write that out in full sometime. Make a book about it.
Yeah, you're a good candidate for a blog, that's for sure.
So, well, thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
I might do that. Blog.
And that's coming from me. You know, I paint pictures with words.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're like the... what's that one? The Ross. The
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a Pete Ross or something. Pete Ross, a baseball player.
I'm the Bob Ross of speaking.
Yes. Pretty little ghost right there.
Yeah.
Boom! It's winter.
It's real spooky right there.
It's
Just
residual.
clean it off.
It's residual. Then all of a sudden it's intelligent. What are you doing down there?
I was cleaning off.
I don't think so. Keep your hand. This is a
Beat the little devil.
family show, pal. So do you have anything to say regarding any of the words that I said, or the topics?
That was very good. You covered it all.
Stop it. I'm gonna let you start off this next one
Okay.
because my throat's hurting. No, it never hurts. All right, so we've gotten emails, guys, and if you guys really want to ask us questions, we love to answer them the best to our ability. So yeah, we've got a question here. If you want to send your questions, it's GhostTalk@ghostcrier.com. Go ahead and send it to us. So let me see. Donna Woolham says or asks. So we keep acknowledging that ghosts exist now. We're believers with intelligent and residual forms. Now, do you think this can be further backed up scientifically through stone tape theory and quantum physics, ultimately the multi-universe theory? She warned me that she's a nerd. So she's a nerd. Donna. Yeah, science. So stone tape theory.
I don't think stone tape theory is going to tread water as well as
Duct tape theory.
Yeah, the duct tape theory. But
Builds anything. Dreams.
2 rolls. But as bad as science attacks paranormal investigating, trying to explain to science that like quartz and limestone retain energy it's going to fly just as far as the fact that ghosts exist. Quantum physics, that sounds like something that'd be more his area.
Ultimately, it's the multi-dimensional type theory. Do you believe that there's kind of Earth 1, Earth 2, I think one flash here.
Like the movie Interstellar.
Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah. I think that's possible.
Okay.
I mean, I don't, as far as like traveling through a black hole and appearing on that bookshelf, like in Interstellar, it kind of lost me there, but using that black hole to travel that far out to save Matt Damon again. Again, I think that's possible. That's in the future. It's not in our future because they defunded NASA. But it might be in Russia's future, or somebody that still explores space.
Cosmonaut.
Yes. That's how we fix things on space station Mir. But eventually they're going to find a black hole and start launching stuff in it. I mean, I just looked at a panoramic image of Mars from the rover on Facebook yesterday. That was kind of cool.
Huh.
It was like looking at a dirty basement.
We've been down some dirty basements before.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee. Donna, I think you actually have a really excellent question, and I do thank you so much for writing in this question. Yeah, of course the question is a bit nerdy. I'll give you that. But that's awesome because I think we're ultimately all nerds about ghosts and paranormal. But with that said, as Nick kind of piggyback on what Nick said, no, absolutely not. We cannot bring this in a scientific, at least not yet, to the minds who are running the scientific practical procedures of day to day. It just doesn't function in a controlled environment. You can't control the idea of a multiverse. You can't control the idea of stone tape, with limestone, theory. But I do want to speak on both of those because I do, with the stone tape theory, with limestone and stuff like that, you're ultimately describing with that theory what a haunting, just a normal haunting is. It's if you, watch or listen to a record and then listen to it again and again and again. Nothing's going to change. It's not going to interact with you. It's just really taking a picture, kind of a 3D picture of that area, of that time and moment, whatever triggers it, comes back to life and plays a show for you. How it's triggered, nobody knows. All we can do is have theories. Do we believe as investigators that we may have ran into a haunting scenario? Yeah, there's there's ideas that we may have ran into more of a haunting, more of a non-interactive scenario. Sure, absolutely. Again, can't take it to a scientist. Unfortunately, at least not one that I know. If there's one watching, please, by all means.
Yeah,
take this
one
up
that
and-
isn't making a robot that he can try to push down, and
Like
it falls down, and it can get back up, and
See that motorcycle though that they're doing? Can't fall over or something?
opens doorknobs and
Hit the back.
serves butter.
Ooh.
Rick and Morty reference.
Ding. But with the multi-universe theory, yeah, I think there's something there. With the frequencies, if we talk, on frequencies, there's a lot of frequencies going on here. If, let's say, the EVPs that we catch as a whole are legit, we'll say 50% of them are completely real. And that's cool. We're catching those voices on different frequencies. Are those bleeding in and out of kind of our realm? Or is there say there's the you look at this room is like this, but then you throw it this way, just spans out to hundreds of different frequencies, different versions of what this room could potentially be. Would it look like someone who died, back in the 1880s? Would it look 1880s-ish? Would the building even be here? And it just goes back to a lot of theory crafting, but with idea of us catching things within frequencies, I do think there's some substance there. Again, I don't feel it's going to be really discovered.
That's something I've always thought about.
Yeah.
If you had a haunted building, haunted, for all the scientists watching,
Not really haunted.
the building's 3 stories tall.
Right.
There's a poltergeist on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Full-bodied apparition throwing things.
Intelligent.
The city levels the building. If you took a sky lift, one of those little,
Right.
utility vehicles that
Yeah.
could lift you up to the height of the former 3rd floor. Yeah. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah.
Would you be able to catch an EVP?
There's a few things there. What if it's intelligent? Say if poltergeist. So if we're talking about a poltergeist, we're theoretically talking about we are talking about an intelligent being. So that being an intelligent being, you destroy the house, it's going to kind of come down with it. Probably be pissed off on ground level at this point.
What if it was residual?
Then absolutely. It won't necessarily be a poltergeist because it won't be able to interact with anything, but it can show up when the environment kind of lights up and it allows it. But yeah, that gets taken down. You could probably at nighttime see a ghost floating or flying or going through walls. If you see anything going through walls, mind you, it's not an intelligent one because it's not interacting with that environment. It's not reacting to the door. It's not being conscious at that time, at least from what it understands. Empty shell, if anything. If yeah, so if the building's down, I think.
Does it come down with the building?
No, it'll stay up there.
Is the energy in the materials
Oh,
of the
well,
building,
there you
or
go.
is the
Okay.
energy in the air?
Well, there we go. That's that's something else, because it would primarily still be up there, but if whatever was causing it to form each time is gone,
Then is
Magic
it
8
all
Ball
dead?
is out.
They're getting ready to tear down the Bowen building in Peoria, the Bartonville Insane Asylum, Illinois Asylum for the Incurable Insane. Yeah, I had to remember that. They're getting ready to tear that down. I wonder if they build something on that exact location, if it would be as haunted.
Thank you.
As the
Politically correct. Puncher.
as haunted as the Bowen building.
If we're dealing with intelligent, I think it could. Absolutely. If we're doing an intelligent residual, it's not going to interact, with us.
Right.
But you bring up a good point there. If, something was creating it to come alive once every 5 years at this specific wind blow thing, moon shining,
Atmospheric
whatever.
condition, barometric
Tide up,
pressure,
right.
humidity.
And the right cupcake.
Yeah, little sprinkles.
Little sprinkles. Comes out and just walks around.
Yeah.
There you go. Good point. Yeah, we got everything out there. It's delicious. Yeah. So, I think there's something to the multi-universe, or the quantum theory. Same thing with the stone tape. I think that's a theory, but I think that goes back to, of course, the scientist thing, hating ghosts and the idea. Keep believing. Right. Okay, guys. So, do you have anything else to say about that?
Nope, that's all I got to say about that.
Well, thank you guys for watching another episode of Ghost Talk. We like to talk about.
Mama says.
Oh. Box of chocolates.
Yeah.
So, Nick, where can people find and or locate you to harass you?
Yes. Please
Give me
come
your phone
harass
number.
me at twitter.com/@GCPINICK.
NIC. See you real soon. Okay?
Okay. Something. DUDE. Nick dude.
Nick dude. That got weird real fast.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. My name's Aaron G. Thompson. You can follow me on everything. Just look at /GCPI Aaron, AARON. Ding.
Two A's. You done messed up, Ron.
Oh, man. GhostCrier.com. Go to the website. It has everything that we're doing, everything that we're supporting, projects in the future, all of our social media stuff. Definitely check out our YouTube. We have some really awesome stuff. Well, actually, thanks for checking out our YouTube, I guess, because you're watching this.
You're probably watching this after the investigation.
Yeah, right?
Because they're going to post the same day, correct?
Yeah, exact same day. So,
wow.
So if you haven't watched the investigation, check it out, guys. It's going to be some good stuff.
It's either just been watched or it's coming up next.
Rewatch it, lower the lights, watch it with a friend, family, loved one,
light
a
a
scientist.
Candle, hold it.
But yeah, so we got things we're doing. If you like what we're doing, you support who we are and our movement into turning ghost hunting into a career, please go to patreon.com/ghostcrier and support us. Give us $1 if you can. We'll totally appreciate it. If you can't, financially support us, we get it. Trust me.
Just watch our videos and click that
like button, comment, thumbs up, share. That's going to be huge. You guys rock. Nick, you rock. Everyone rocks. Scientists, you rock too.
Aaron, you rock.
Aww. Ghost Crier. Or wait, no. Ghost Achievement. Activated. Ghost, wait. Ghost something.
Your brain must be on fire. Raise your spirit to the Ghost Crier. slam the door. You're shaking, scared. Live your life with so much fear. Wipe your eyes, hide your tears. Stop. Let me make this clear. This about you and me. No blind mutiny. Only power unity. Together we will see. Peace. Check the other vids. Go. GhostCrier.com. Magic is only undiscovered science.